In Piedmont, and in particular in the Monte, in the province of Cuneo, there is the Gelato Club company. The company was born from the synergy between the over 60 years of experience in the Italian dairy economy of the Caseificio Sura Valleys and the commercial dynamism of a young and energetic startup in the ice cream business. In addition to milk, cream and pasty products, production focused on an innovative product, the liquid ice cream mixture. The first contact between the Monte, Caseificio Valle Stura and Gelato Club took place in 2014, when the company was founded. Gelato Club was first a customer of the Caseificio. The history and success of the company is linked to a long tradition of dairy farming, typical of the area. The location in the Monte and in general in the province of Cuneo is fundamental, both because of the quality of the product and the advanced zootechnology, but also because it allows the company to tell a story rich in tradition and nature. It is not an industrialized or compromised place from an urbanistic point of view. If on the one hand this characteristic represents a great strength, on the other hand it is identified as one of the greatest challenges the company has been able to face us. In the previous years it was seen as the foreigner. Finding challenges is the first step in our journey. We collect as much data as possible about the company and the province of Cuneo. Here are the main territorial challenges, which contain small micro-challenges. The first one is to promote and enhance the export of the territory and the small local producers. The second is to improve communication and links between students and companies in order to help young people enter the world of work. Another important aspect relates to waste management in order to optimize the waste cycle and encourage reuse. The last point is to refocus companies on small local producers to reduce the transport of raw material and help local companies economically. One or more company challenges have been linked to each territorial challenge. The primary goal of the company is to improve its global visibility and so to increase its market capacity through an enhancement of the quality and the natural and local product and the history of the territory. The second point is related to education. There is a need to consolidate the knowledge base and to improve the approach to introduction of new employees. The aim is to train qualified staff who follow the values of the company. The third point is to improve the company water and waste management, optimize and valorize what can be reused. Improve the network between the company and local producers to reduce the ecological impact and improve the quality of raw material. Make the company's communication with potential customers efficient. The last point is to highlight the company's innovative product. From the combination and connection between territorial and company-related challenges, new opportunities for the entire system are highlighted. The opportunities found are thus: communication, creating strong communication to make the product known abroad and enhance the characteristics of the company competitors. Intervention on the network to create aggregation around the company and its local relation. Networking, connecting and promoting the interests of young students through partnership between school, university and companies. Training to introduce new competent employees and act on territorial unemployment. Enhancement of the territory. Intervention of the company and the local cooperative in telling about the territory and its link with the product. Organization of events to make the product known and enhance the value of local raw material. Environmental impact. Reuse of the water flow, optimization of the water flow, company output as input from local companies from different sectors. The next step facilitated the selection of the most effective opportunity through the principle of system design. Through the matrix, it was possible to check the performance of each opportunity against these principles. The result of the analysis was that 3 opportunities met 4 out of 5 principles, 2 satisfied the 4 principles with the potential to act on 1, and 1 opportunity met all 5 principles.
The next step after the identification of the opportunities related to the territory of reference and to Gelato Club was to determine and identify the strategies able to create value both within the company and on the local territory, and able to change the current system. After identifying the opportunities on which to intervene, possible strategies were defined. First, to create a partnership between the schools of engineering and agriculture to facilitate the connection between young people and businesses, and create a network between future employers and future workers. Second, to create a training program to introduce trainees and new employees to the values and skills of the company. Third, to create a network system that puts the company in contact with organizations that promote Italian products abroad, using advanced marketing strategies that can highlight the strengths of production. Fourth, the introduction of a filter system capable of making the water used in the pasteurization phase reusable for several cleaning cycles. Fifth, the use of wastewater for cleaning roads in the province of Cuneo. Sixth, the use of sewage sludge as a raw material and input for the creation of new materials. Seventh, the use of sewage sludge as fertilizer in agriculture. 8. The use of sewage sludge as a basis for the creation of fuel. The selection of the right strategies was based on a number of methods, including a comparison with other criteria, in order to highlight the most suitable solutions in line with Gelato Club's needs. The selection criteria included in these metrics are: first, the possibility of production of economic value. Second, to create networks in the local area. Third, to increase the brand visibility. Fourth, to enhance the corporate image and position. Fifth, to reducing the ecological footprint. Hence the focus was on the 4 strategies related to the environment: the use of sewage sludge to create renewable energy, fertilizer and bioplastic, and the use of water to clean the roads in the province of Cuneo.
The design part took into account strategies related to sludge reuse, because they were more in line with the company interests and more effective in generating value. The necessary step is to treat the sludge regardless of its final use. The most common reuse method is to turn into fertilizer. The sludge has to be purified of any chemical and toxins. The second common method is to reuse it as fuel to generate heat and electricity. The sludge is deprived of oxygen and decomposes to produce methane gas. This biogas needs to be stabilized. This process creates residual heat energy which can be reused and also converted into electricity. In addition to the subsequent treatment, a final step is added to obtain bioplastic. This process, called bacterial fermentation, allows the extraction of PHA from the bacterial cell. The resulting bioplastic can be used to make biodegradable item with a much smaller carbon footprint than normal plastic. After mapping all the relation and connection of the 3 strategies, the choice fell on the reuse of the sludge in the production of bioplastic. The PHA obtained will then be used to make utensils for ice cream consumption, such as spoons, cups and tubs for example. The products obtained will be destined for the consumption of ice cream from a new organic line, so as to have an ecological coherence between the ice cream and the world in which it is served to consumers.
With regard to the sludge reuse solution, different best practices were highlighted, the most important and innovative being the one developed by researchers at the University of Bologna. The B+ plant uses sludge as a raw material for the creation of PHA. The new system starts with the recovery of sewage sludge, which will undergo specific treatments to obtain PHA. The first 2 treatments, purification and basic treatment, will be carried out by ASEA and will serve to make the sludge safe and completely decontaminated. The last step will involve Proplast, a company dedicated to the green and sustainable extraction of PHA from the purified sludge, and to the molding of tools for the immediate consumption of ice cream. The new tools will be reintroduced into the Gelato Club supply chain and used for the new organic ice cream line. The company produces about 9,100 kilos of sludge in its liquid state per year, from which 4,277 kilos of PHA per year could be recovered for the development of utensils for the immediate consumption of organic ice cream. To give an example, considering spoons, about 1,700,000 spoons could be produced with 4,277 kilos of bioplastic. The objectives to be followed in the concrete realization of the tools are interaction, communicate sustainability, experience, and territoriality. The pattern used is inspired by the shapes and textures of the waste product. The pattern will appear once the ice cream has been placed in the cup, thanks to the use of natural thermochromic inks, which react to cold. The aim is to communicate the origin of the product and its ecological footprint. The QR code will refer to the development process of the bioplastic that makes up the utensils in order to raise awareness and promote the initiative and make the user aware. The cost of producing the packaging was calculated to be €25,662, minus 30% of the cost of supplying the sludge to Gelato Club. The final annual price is about €17,962. Spoons and cups for ice cream consumption already on the market are 3 times more expensive if made of PHA. In this case, having the raw material to produce PHA makes the transformation of sludge into bioplastic more efficient.
The new system and new borders created will surely have a positive effect on the ecosystem service. The reuse of sludge as a raw material for the creation of bioplastic will save many kilograms of petroleum-based plastic. The recovery of sludge and the subsequent purification of water positively influence the freshwater cycle and prevent threat to entire ecosystem. There will be a positive effect on climate regulation, so it is good to minimize the release of gases from sludge, such as methane. The effect of project intervention can be divided according to different time frames, short, medium and long term. Considering the short-term result, the use of plastic will surely be less. The production in the first year will be 25%, using all the sludge produced by the company. The company will not have to support the cost of sludge disposal. Over a longer period of time, 2 to 6 years, the use of plastic will be reduced by about 60%. Having a larger quantity, production can start to shift to other types of product. The company will be able to replace about 17% of the company's packaging with the new material. By creating large quantities of material, it will be possible to resell stock. By looking at the result over a longer period of time, the use of plastics will be further reduced to almost 99%. More companies will join the network by buying surplus product or participating in the sludge reuse process. After 6 years, corporate organic packaging accounts for 100% of the total. So, we have reached the end. This is our proposal to generate value inside the company, to create a network in the area, to transform waste into a resource and to promote innovation in a market slide that is still little considered.